Welcome back to the Krypton Factor Grand Final, and still 4 rounds to go before we discover the identity of the 1993 champion. Leading the race to accept the trophy from Olympic oarsman Stephen Redgrave is Tim Richardson, 4 points clear of the next contestant. But it could all be very different after this next round, observation. This is the round that tests the ability of our grand finalists to watch a short drama sequence and remember precise details. And for the last time in this series, Chief Inspector Fred Pilkington will recount another of his great crime-solving deeds to journalist Julie Webb. Grand finalists, turn to your screens quickly, please, and concentrate very hard on the case of the Curious Curios.
Was the stuff this good when Foster owned it?
Oh, yes. Had some lovely pieces. Some of them weren't even stolen. Benny Foster was an expert. He took pride in knowing how to get hold of anything a collector was interested in.
And if the owner wasn't willing to sell?
Then he'd commission one of the 6 top burglars in the country to get it for him.
So you set him up?
I'm afraid I did. I posed as a collector, looking particularly for Jean-Pierre Brunet glass. He said he hadn't anything at that moment, but if I'd care to leave a number...
He'd let you know. And I expect you knew exactly what he'd go for.
Oh, yes. A signed Brunet bowl. Gorton Hall. 20 miles north of here.
Devious.
5 days later, Benny went out to lunch with Charlie Lennon, an active and highly skilled burglar who we followed down the A63 and back. I tried to let Benny have some satisfaction out of it. I happened to have a pair of Victorian handcuffs that I knew he'd appreciate, so I took them with me and I let him be the first man to wear them for 150 years.
Oh, you're all heart, Fred.
Well, we've had some marvellous performances from Roy Barraclough and Annabel Giles throughout the series, and I'd just like to say a last big thank you to them both. Now, grand finalists, reach for your keypads, please. 5 questions coming up with multi-choice answers. Here's question 1. What were Brunet's Christian names? Your options. Time's up. The answer is B, Jean-Pierre. How many top burglars did Fred say there were in the country? And the answer is C, 6. How did Fred describe the burglar, Charlie Lennon? And the answer to that is D, active and highly skilled. How many different black and white photos were there? And the answer to that is A, 6. In the flashback, what colour suit and hat was the younger Fred Pilkington wearing? And the answer is C, green. And we don't have to wait for the result of that test because the computer linked to the keypads displays it immediately, and here's how it all worked out. Alex, you got 3 right and a 4th 2 points. Tim, you also got 3 right, but in a faster time, so 3rd place, 4 points. Eddie, 3 right for you too, but faster still. 2nd place, therefore, 6 points. And congratulations to Norman, 4 right, so he wins the round with 10 points. And immediately we add all those points to the current totals, and it's all getting very close, 2 tying for 2nd place, but still out in front with a Krypton Factor now of 20. The chartered accountant from Abingdon, Oxfordshire, Tim Richardson. Major Peter Lyons of the Army Physical Training Corps starts the assault course race in the Krypton Factor Grand Final. And looking back to heat and group final performances, 2 of these contestants are unbeaten on the course, Norman Kenvin in green and Tim Richardson in yellow, while Eddie Jackson in blue has a time only 7 seconds slower than Tim, the fastest man. So it should be a tremendous battle between these 3, with Alex, I think, resigned to being 4th. But through the switchback and coming off it, it's Eddie Jackson leading from Norman Kenvin and Tim Richardson. Alex Moe at 4th. And Eddie Jackson, the Scouser from Liverpool's Old Swan area, but now working in Nottingham, setting a really hot pace. Down the fireman's pole he goes, 5 yards clear of Norman Kenvin, and he's really decided to attack this course right from the start. And Tim Richardson now up into second place as he and Norman go under that flat net, chasing this man, Eddie Jackson. And he's missed the rope, completely missed it. He must have totally lost his concentration, and that has cost him dearly, from first and looking good to third in a flash. And it's now the two unbeaten men on this course, neck and neck. Norman Kenvin in green and Tim Richardson in yellow. And Tim copes with the tram wires better and pulls a couple of yards clear. Alex Mowat hanging in there bravely. Back with the leaders, Norman just lets himself drop down the S-bend, trying to stay with Tim Richardson. Tim the contest leader and Norman joint second. But good, steady, rhythmic strides from Tim across that chain bridge. He's looking good and he's looking strong, but Norman's not letting him get away. The man from Bickley in Kent stumbles a bit on the A-frame, which he really can't afford to do. Alex Mowat, originally from Caithness in Scotland, driving himself on, but in fourth place. And Tim now almost goes flat in his face coming off the A-frame, but he survives and drives on, born and bred in Abingdon. And now Norman nearly comes unstuck. And again there, the pressure really telling, and Tim makes a bad mistake, and a very wet one too. He's absolutely soaked to the skin, and that'll make things a lot more uncomfortable for him. And of course it gives the others a chance too. Eddie Jackson coming back strongly. Norman Kenvin suffered from those mistakes, and Alex still giving it everything. Now can Tim hang on? Eddie's up there on the platform. Tim starts his descent. Norman's up there too. Now can Eddie mount a last desperate challenge? And that's his view of it. Tim in his sights, but he really needs a bad landing by Tim and a good one for himself. But Tim has done well. He's got just one obstacle left and running very strongly and easily. Norman hits the water knowing his unbeaten record has gone, but Tim retains his. Great effort, great race, 10 points to him. Eddie is second, but what if he hadn't missed that rope swing? Who knows? And that's Alex Mowat. Always knew he would be fourth. And Norman Kenvin picks up 4 points for third place. Now to the scoreboard, where that assault course victory means the lead has stretched to 8 points. Out in front with the Krypton Factor now of 30. Abingdon's Tim Richardson. Just 2 runs to go in the Krypton Factor Grand Final, and the pressure on our 4 finalists will be intense in this next crucial test, a 3-dimensional logic problem. Contestants, take your places, please. In front of each grand finalist are 6 long, clear tubes and 12 short ones. Their task is to slot the tubes into the frame provided to form a connected path from the top Krypton K to the bottom K. On completion, the red ball will run from the top compartment to the lower one. Are you ready, grand finalists? The test starts now.
Well, you can just imagine the tension they're feeling right now. Alex here is aware that nothing short of victory will be of any use to him. Eddie knows he really needs to finish ahead of Tim Richardson to set himself up for the last round. And Norman's in exactly the same position, so it really is a crucial round. And this is the man they're all desperate to beat, Tim Richardson, the contest leader. Slotting that tube in the wrong section, so it's not a good start. But Alex has started well. It looks right, though we won't know for sure till the ball drops through. Eddie started at the top of the frame, but now deciding to work from the bottom up, and that is the better way. And Alex slotting the last tube in, but he needs to be certain they are in the right order before he releases the ball. Norman Kenvin almost there too. It's going to be so close between the two of them. But Alex is going for it, releases the ball. Now, if he's wrong, the ball will stick and he'll have to dismantle, which would be a real disaster for him. But it's right. A vital 10 points for Scotsman Alex Mowat. And hot on his heels is Norman Kenvin. The ball rolling and dropping freely. He's done it and takes 6 very important points. So what's happened to the contest leader? Tim Richardson is struggling and he may not even get third place, because Eddie's fitting the last tube, and if he slotted them all correctly, then this grand final is wide open. And it's looking good, and he is going to take third place and 4 points. Eddie Jackson, and what a round this has been.
And it's happened yet again. The contestant in 4th place going into the round wins it and gets right back into contention. So congratulations to Alex. And it's going to make a very interesting scoreboard. There's the situation with just 1 round to go. 3 contestants on 26. Only 6 points behind the leader, who, with a Krypton Factor now of 32, is Abingdon's Tim Richardson. to the sixth and final round, and what a nail-biting affair it's going to be. The 4 grand finalists have done so well to get here, but only one can become the 1993 champion, and it's all so close. 75 seconds of rapid-fire general knowledge questions to be answered on the buzzer. 2 points for a correct answer, but 2 points deducted for a wrong answer. Good luck, grand finalists. The clock starts now. In which state of the USA is the city of Denver? Eddie.
Colorado.
Correct. Which colour has shades called saffron, primrose and ochre? Eddie.
Red.
No, yellow. The yellow ball is worth how many points in snooker? Tim.
2.
Correct. Which 2 letters are used for the degree of acidity or alkalinity of Eddie?
pH.
Correct. In physics, what may be potential or kinetic measured in joules? Norman.
Electricity.
No, energy. Which energetic 1920s dance craze was named after Tim?
Charleston.
Correct. Which friend of Charles Dickens wrote The Moonstone and the Woman in White? Eddie.
Wilkie Collins.
Correct. Which former husband of Joan Collins sang What Kind of Fool Am I and Pop Goes the Weasel? Answer is Anthony Newley. Which newly launched liner sank in April 1912 in the North Atlantic? Tim.
Titanic.
Correct. Iceberg, romaine and butterhead are varieties. Eddie.
Lettuce.
Correct. The letters CGT indicate which tax on profits? Tim.
Capital gains tax.
Correct. Which city is capital of the Philippines? Eddie.
Manila.
Correct. If manicure is care of the hands, what is care of the... Eddie.
Pedicure.
Correct. Which pedigree dog was originally a sacred breed of China's imperial court? Eddie.
Chow.
No, Pekingese. The peaks of Aconcagua. Eddie.
South America.
No, the Andes, and it's the end of the grand final, and the winner and 1993 Krypton Factor champion is the chartered accountant from Abingdon, Oxfordshire, Tim Richardson. Congratulations, Tim. It's a magnificent performance. Well done. I mean, you must be very happy with yourself and very pleased it's over.
Very happy, but glad it's over, yeah. Very close at the end now.
And now, to present the trophy, it gives me enormous pleasure to welcome one of the country's greatest athletes, a man who knows all about the sense of achievement and elation at proving yourself to be the very best. Ladies and gentlemen, triple Olympic gold medalist and world record holder in the coxless pairs, oarsman Stephen Redgrave. Welcome to the Krypton Factor, Stephen. Thank you very much for coming. I know you're watching the grand final from the sidelines there. The assault course would be no problem at all to you, but is there any other round you fancy?
I think landing the plane has got to be the best. I think most people seen at home, I think, enjoy that one the best.
And what about this man's performance, Tim Richardson?
Tim was excellent. He was leading from the second round onwards. Was a great performance, but really taking nothing away from the other 3. They did excellent as well.
Thank you very much. Can I now ask you to present the trophy to our 1993 champion, Tim Richardson?
Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Well done. Worthy winner.
Thank you.
And on that fitting note, the 1993 series of the Krypton Factor comes to an end. I'd just like to say a very big thank you to Stephen Redgrave for being with us tonight as we say good night and congratulate once more the 1993 Krypton Factor champion, Tim Richardson.
Lock down your telly, Jeff Hardy always has me hooked. Catch up with TNA Impact Wrestling tonight at 10 PM on Challenge. And boom! For more high-flying action, don't miss new TNA Explosion tomorrow at 11 PM on Challenge.